Hello and welcome back to the Live Lounge. We're here at the Las Vegas Open. I'm Stephen and I am joined with the one and only Jake. How you doing, mate?
I'm doing great, thanks, Stephen. Sorry if I'm glowing, I've been running around here.
Mate, you've been a busy man.
A wee bit. Always have time to talk to a friend, though.
Mate, so I want to find out about what you do at Frontline. I want to know how long you've been doing the job you've been doing, and for everybody back home to get to know you a little bit more.
You know the hard part for me is I'd never have like a simple or straightforward answer when it comes to things like this. But officially, I've been part of the Frontline team for about 3 years.
Okay.
Okay. So as far as like what probably what most people see is my role within events for FLG events as of more recent.
Well, that's kind of where you're most visible, right? You're in the public.
Correct. Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's how a lot of people have found Frontline Gaming to some degree, where it's like they've attended an event. I mean, that's how I originally like interacted and found it, because I'm a player. I'm a player first and a hobbyist. And that's that's pretty much like the first line of like where you would meet anybody from Frontline Gaming, or like get to know Frontline Gaming, if you will. So in my more official capacity for my role within events, that's probably been more about closer to the 2-year mark now.
And what is like your main purpose then with the events itself? Like, what's your vision, your ambition for them?
No, most definitely. So I can't stress enough, being a player first. That's where the heart and soul is for.
Well, that's how we first met, wasn't it?
It really was, wasn't it? Yeah. You know, it's been so long that I almost forgot that I actually like took a crack at, because I was bored, during the pandemic, and we did the Black Rabbit Gaming channel, and we randomly.
You invited me over.
We randomly invited you over to my house, and we
played games.
Yeah, played some games.
And I think I fell asleep in the corner.
Yeah, because of the old fashions. I don't think I've made an old fashioned since then myself. But yeah, just like most other people, you make friends on the tabletop.
So yeah, let's get back to the real story though. So, what's your vision?
The vision is to keep to the core of what Frontline Gaming events just have been known for in general, which is to be champions of the community. I don't mean to sound cliche that it's actually like within, it's in our logo, it's in our slogan, but the prime focus is the community. So growing that to whatever capacity it takes. I mean, if we even look at the LVO and like how that's evolved, I haven't been here since the very beginning. But I would like to think I have a clear understanding of everything that the Frontline Gaming team, specifically Reese and Frankie, have built all the way from 15 years ago. But naturally, the evolution within how the tabletop community has grown, where the state of all games, not just 40K, which is obviously one of our biggest event or tournament events throughout. How the evolution of gaming and tabletop gaming and events have turned into. I mean, look at everything that the LVO is today.
Well, also from my perspective, of somebody that's been back in the game since 7th edition, the ITC that Reese and Frankie, I might get some of these facts wrong, so correct me if I do, but for how I saw things, the ITC were there for the people, and originally created by Reese and Frankie, that they updated the rankings themselves. People, like, the systems weren't there in the original, like for how you got ITC points, and they even had their own player pack, their own aspect, when at the time Games Workshop, with their format of missions, were a little bit more narrative, and they didn't necessarily have the tournament companions like they do now. And I would actually say a lot of that's still been inspired by what Reese and Frankie did with the ITC. And I still remember those missions, things like Gangbusters and the Postman. And I have so many fond memories of that edition, playing ITC. So for me, it's always had a huge part of what's brought me through the game, why I love competitive play so much. And for me, what Frontline have done have always been that champion of the community, helping people just express themselves on the tabletop and create incredible events. You know, I remember it was always like there was the SoCal Open, and that was one of the events I always wanted to go to. And to see how far it's come is truly incredible. So I want to talk a little bit about why are we here right now? Because I've seen it at the Bally's, is that right?
Yep. So at the Bally's or Paris and Bally's, and then the Rio as of most recent.
Why are we here?
We're here to support essentially that growth, that level of growth, and that commitment to the experience. So, you know, I sidetracked a little bit, but I mean, who doesn't sidetrack? Who doesn't sidetrack? So where it all comes together is to answer that original question. I take it very seriously. I'm very, very committed to improving the quality of life of what FLG events are, and to expand on how we curate the experience that we all get at Frontline Gaming events, or at any events in general. Like we support a whole bunch of community events as much as possible, not just ours, because we believe it's for the betterment of, you know, this hobby. So for me personally, and you know, I could be wrong on this, and maybe others don't share the same sentiment, but my favorite memories of any time I went to events was the time that I got to meet new people, hang out with, you know, my friends, my teammates, whatever it might be. But it's those types of things are what have always been core memories for me. It's about the experience. I don't remember how many ITC points I scored or what, you know, what my win rate was. I remember the laughs. I remember the dumb nights with the, you know, out with the friends.
I don't remember our score. When we played at your house, I don't remember the score of the game.
Perfect. I won.
Okay, cool. But I do remember the old fashion you made me. I remember sitting in the chair, falling asleep while you played Ben. That's what I remember.
Yes.
I don't remember the score.
And that's, in my opinion, what it's all about. And why are we here at the World Market Center in a new facility, done it twice in 1 year, this LVO thing? You know, no big deal. That's why I look like, I don't know, at least like 30 years older, I think. But it's literally, it's for that. It's a setup for what this could become. And this was the vision. And if we, you know, anybody that's been here, having walked in and really had that reaction, like that was the goal. That was the vision of saying like, oh, wow, I see what you guys are trying to accomplish.
Yeah, I mean, it was a testament to you as well. Like, I had this crazy idea of like, oh, Jake, I'd love to do like a completely beginners only tournament. And you were like, okay, talk to me more about it. And I went out and I did a questionnaire, didn't I? And I came back and I was like, here's the data, what do you think? And you were like, yeah, let's do it. And for me, that just showed that you were so willing to do something new. You've given us this incredible space, an opportunity for people to play for the first ever time. And we got it off the ground, and me and you had so many like messages late at night, early mornings for you. You know, even to the very day we're helping people with their tickets. I don't know anybody that works harder than you, maybe aside from myself.
Thank you, Steve. Appreciate it.
And I truly mean that, because I have seen the level of passion and commitment you've shown.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited to see what this becomes, because, you know, I liked it at the Rio. I liked it there. Like everybody that's enjoyed the LVO before has liked it there. Yeah. And I was, you know, what's this going to be like? And I walked in and straight away I was like, wow, this is better. This is a cool expo.
And we couldn't have done it without the support of individuals and organizers like yourself, with all our TOs, everyone ranging from our 40K judge team all the way to our AMG game system judge team, our old world judge team. It was a testament to the faith, and that is what's core to Frontline Gaming, is that, you know, we've always done and tried to do right by our people and the community in general. And basically, like if nobody had entrusted that we could pull this off and, you know, make a drastic of a move like this for a good reason and prove it to them, then, you know, we couldn't have made anything like this happen. But that, you know, that is the ultimate goal, is to create this to be the most memorable weekend that many people experience in a year. And I love the fact that we figured out the My First Tournament workshop. so big on that and the support in general, and not just from the event side of things, but just even from our customer journey experience, even from our online shopping, where it's not. I don't think it should just be if you know, you know. Like, that's not a great angle in my opinion. We should be growing the community from all aspects. It shouldn't be difficult to enter into the hobby by any measure. You should be able to come in and say, like, well, where do I start? We want to be able to answer that question. And it's been tremendous for our entire season, just in events this year, to see the new players coming into it, so that it's not just, oh, it's a tournament, so I'm afraid to attend. I'm afraid I won't do well. Well, we're trying to pull the focus away from that, obviously. Like, there's a slim chance to actually, like, win a 40K tournament this day and age when our numbers are getting upwards of, like, 300 at one of our regional events, 350, whatever it might be. That's a lot of people, right? But for you to just jump in and have great games, I mean, heck, I had met at Lone Star, so in Texas, because overall that was over a 600-person event, so it's a big event, right? On the 40K side, it was over 300, but there was a father and son there, and they've only gone to 2 events ever in their entire lifetime, which was the short career of 40K, and one of them was Cherokee Open in February, which is also like a 260-person 40K champs event, and then Lone Star Open, which is over 300, and I was like, great. You're just going out there and you're playing the game and having a good time and making memories. So things like this, the new player workshops and giving people guidance to start, I think is just tremendous. And thank you so much for putting this together, Steve, because that is what it's all about. It's about the community feeling supported, having instructions, and knowing and just not feeling alone in that sense.
Yeah, and I would say that's so true. For like, I've just been up here with Dan Osborne. He's saying how excited he is to see the hobby grow and how much integration in space and excitement there is for more integration between players and painting and hobby. And I've had people on this stage talk about the lore, about the gaming. I spoke to Phil the Glacial Geek, the all-rounder, right? There's somebody that loves the hobby, loves playing, and it's just so nice to be able to do so many different aspects. And I look around and we've got squad games over here running the kill team. This has been such cool to have like right next to us. I've got the 40K champs right the way over there. You've got, like they said, the Star Wars and everything else going on. And it's so great as well to be in a space where we've got all the vendors, such a nice area where you can, in the middle of a game, quickly walk around. And I know as well this is going to get so much bigger. So I want to know what's next for Frontline. What's like the next event that you guys are putting on, and where's it going to be?
Yeah, definitely. Next, so our event season's calendar is already out on the Events Hub. So that's events.frontlinegaming.org, where we've been centralizing all the information. Our entire calendar is out for next year. The next up and coming is the Las Vegas Teams Tournament, which we brought back because we happen to have an empty January slot. And that's actually going to be on in the world view over here. It's like the 50th floor. You get a sky view of the panorama sky view of the entire city. It's a lot of fun. And what the LVTT was, it's a 5v5 40K tournament, right? Teams tournament, and we've collaborated with ATC and the NTL, the National Tabletop League, for this one.
Can I bring a team?
That kicks off our season. You can absolutely bring a team.
I do like Vegas, so I could come back in January.
You should absolutely come back to Vegas. So that's already half filled out. So we're already like 26 teams in on that one.
Ben Jones, if you're listening, can we do the team event in January, please?
Ben Jones, can you be on my team? I might actually play this one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
I actually think I will.
That sounds good.
Yeah. Can I?
Well, you want to be on my team?
I still haven't gotten a Vanguard Tactics shirt.
I might be able to sort you out one.
All right.
Anyway. So, the rest of the calendar, what big ones have we got lined up?
At this point, they're all getting big, but LVTT is already set for January. We've got Cherokee Open in North Carolina. That's set up for end of February. We had a shift and a shuffle for the Rocky Mountain Open, just because the fairgrounds, basically like it seems county-wide, they're going through renovations, but we have a venue change as well as a date change. So we're probably looking at early May or late April for Rocky Mountain Open in Denver. We've got the Bay Area Open, which is FLG's first event, which started in a barn. Now we're going to be at the Westin some changes there. And then we've got Atlantic City Open in June, the weekend before Father's Day. Lone Star Open in August, the weekend before school starts.
Lone Star is an awesome event.
I love the Lone Star Open. I love the Lone Star Open. And then lastly, the Las Vegas Open. We've already got the dates set, October 1st.
I love it.
Same pattern.
I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, Amy, have we got any comments, any questions from the chat? No? Any questions from the audience? No questions? So what would your advice be for, I want to get into, if you're looking to run a tournament yourself, maybe you want to become a TO, how do you start? What would your advice be to somebody that wants to become, a TO, run their first ever tournament?
I would say make sure you're doing it for the right reasons, as in like
the money, yeah?
Yeah, because there's so much money in events. Yeah, actually, speaking of which, do realize like how much it takes, be it how much terrain you need to do or how much you're willing to rent out of space. But really, it's not. At its core, it's not very difficult. And the more events, the better. Truthfully, right? It's engaging the community. But what I mean by like doing it for the right reasons is like if you're passionate enough about putting on events, certainly don't do it for the money. I 10 out of 10, I don't recommend it. You're going to come in at a loss for a very long time. But if you want to put on an event, make sure that you have. Like what is your vision? Like what is it that you're bringing to your community locally that is either different or special or unique? Because event runners have one thing in common. We're usually very passionate about what we're trying to do in the community. So as long as you have a good reason for it, just do it. The rest is relatively easy to figure out. Find a venue, make sure you have this stuff, and give the players a great experience.
What's some of the mistakes TOs make?
Doing it for the money.
In what do you mean by that? Is it like they cut corners?
Yeah. Well, thinking that it's like, oh, this is a get-rich-quick scheme by any measure, It's.
Well, I think it's easy from a perception perspective to go, oh, well, that event, they charge this much per ticket, and they sell this many spaces. Oh, well, they do the math, and it's like, well, they're just making loads of money.
Right.
And what they don't realize is all of the work prior, after, in the months leading up to that event, and also the pack down and the recovery that's needed after a show or an event must be astronomical. I know just the amount of hours I've put in just to do 2 workshops, an event and run this. A lot. And it's every single little bit of detail that you have to think about. So when I ran an event for the first time recently, I wanted a different experience for people. But the criticism I got was, why does that cost the same amount of money as the LGT, as the LVO? And I was like, well, what I'm providing is something a little bit different. I had really super high tables. They're not easy to come by, are they?
No, they're not.
They're not like the run-of-the-mill. I wanted beautiful looking terrain, fantastic mats, space around every table, like you've done over here. This is great. I absolutely love this because you want to be able to put your dice tray down and some space and everything else. And I provided food and some other aspects and really made it like a high-end event. And that's absolutely okay to do that. But equally, you can do the other things on a lower budget for people that just want to get some games in. And they're not fussed about high tables and how the terrain's painted. They just want to throw some dice. And there's something for everyone. And I think as a TO, just know who you want to market to, right?
No, exactly, and that's where you have to give credit to your local TOs. Any organizer, whether it's an RTT like just a local like small, even an 8-person event, or if it's a 100-person event or a 1,000-person event, every detail is something that someone thought of. And what I mean by like it is difficult putting on events because even for us, for Frontline Gaming, you walk into a hall and you see the Las Vegas Open, you think, wow, this team must be massive. Well, on a full-time basis, there's about 3, sometimes 4 of us only that are working solely on focus on our efforts focus on the event side of things. I mean, our entire company is 16 individuals, but we're all passionate. And that's the driving force. But if you were to tell somebody like actual planning and organization of the LVO only really being or falling on about 3 people, that would probably sound crazy to a lot of folks. So, you know, for any organizer of any size, and it's, you know, it obviously gets harder when it scales up, but every single detail, maybe something that you might not even have noticed, but you appreciated, that was thought of by your organizer, right? So in your case, for your event that you put on, it's like, I'm sure you did the same thing as we do. You thought of all the details, and it's not even about bringing the value up, but that was your vision and that was your passion. And that's what I love seeing about like local and regional events is like, what's the flavor of, you know, that TO?
Yeah, give people a reason to go, right? Make it a little bit different, and I think have something unique that people look back on and go, I had a really cool memory there. Maybe it was like, you know, in my event, we all went out for a social. You know, what are those other things where you can inspire people to become a community, and that way then they're forming those friendships which they'll feel so fondly of, because that's what will bring them back. Not, like we said, you forget the games you played, you forget the wins, the losses, but you remember those other different times, right?
No, it's definitely. I'm going to hold that. I hold that very dear to my heart. That, you know, you came over for a game to my home, and you know, the event that I hosted there, you know, our one round event.
Did we film it?
Yeah, we did.
So
oh yeah, it actually is it still is on the internet.
So there's proof of who won.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Well, no, we already knew you won. We just don't remember the score. But the service was.
You said I lost.
The service was the old fashioned.
The service.
You know, that was the core memory. I did say I won. Yes, it was a long time ago.
Honestly, mate, all I can say is from the bottom of my heart, thank you to you. And
likewise.
Reese and Frankie and the entire Frontline team, the judges. I can see Keith, he's over there. What an absolute legend of a judge. I see him already. Yeah. And everybody else, from Adam to the rest of the team, and anybody that might be running an event here, and the vendors, the participants, no matter what part you've played, even the people who are doing security on the door, thank you so much, because without you all here, I wouldn't get to enjoy this experience. So thank you, selfishly.
It is right back at all of you. But thank you, Steve. I totally get it, and I totally appreciate yourself as well for supporting this, for trusting in this, believing in this, and basically just being a friend along the way. And that is the key vision of Frontline Gaming, is to stay true to who we are, to carry on the legacy, to evolve the legacy that is Frontline Gaming, and aligning ourselves with like-minded individuals like yourself, like all of our TOs, all of our organizers, our judges, our vendors, our brands, everybody that basically continues to support in the vision of growing the community.
And I think that's it. When we all work together to really build the community, then we can all prosper. Isn't that right, Hobbs? Yes. Right, anyway, guys. Oh, that was nice. Thank you so much, Jake.
I didn't think they were listening.
They were listening. They were listening. Woo! Anyway, Jake, thanks so much. And if you've been watching back home, thank you for tuning in. Thank you on the watch, on the readback. Thank you as well to our lovely guests. So, Jake, enjoy the rest of the LVO, and then I hope you get some downtime after, because I know you're going to need it.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Right, and that does conclude the live show, and hopefully Jake will have me back next year to do this. Who knows? We'll find out. Thank you so much.